Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we will take a look at Redux Saga. We will completely understand what Redux Saga is, how it is different from normal Redux, and we will make a simple e-commerce site or like a very common and very simple e-commerce site to understand how to use Redux Saga in any of your project. So after watching this video, you will be very clear what Redux Saga is, and I will just teach you in few minutes. Okay, like whatever the length of the video is, it's like it should be around 20 or 25 minutes, not more than that. So let's start. So first of all, what is Redux and what is Redux Saga? Redux help you to manage state like among the different components. Whenever you are dealing with React and you are like you want some variable, some data to move across different components, to move across different pages, you cannot do that without props, and it will be a hassle to like write props in every state, in every stage. So there comes Redux, which just allows you to like set a variable, to save a variable into a Redux store, then retrieve that in whatever component you want. So this is the main idea for Redux. Now what is Redux Saga? So if you just use Redux, just the normal Redux, you must have used Redux Thunk, which is a middleware. So this Redux Saga is just an alternative to that Redux Thunk. That's it. Redux Saga is an alternative, and this Redux Saga acts as a middleware between your application and store. So let us start without wasting any more time. I will explain you in detail between this video as well, so don't worry about that. So first of all, I am in a VS Code. So open your VS Code or any other codes or like ID, and let's install React in our folder, which I have named React Saga Tut. So I will write npx create React app and then add a dot to like install this in the same directory. Make sure to write this React. Okay, alright, I will hit enter and it will download it. So let's wait till it's download. Alright, so our React has been installed. So now let's install some more dependencies related to Redux and Redux Saga. So I will write over here in my terminal. Let me zoom a little bit more. Yeah, so I will write npm I Redux and then Redux Saga, and I will also write React Redux, and lastly Redux JS slash toolkit. And one more dependency we will install, which is React Router DOM. So this React Router DOM we will use to like create a router and create multiple pages, so that I can show you how this Redux works across multiple components. So it's just a quick tutorial for React router as well. If you don't know how this works, don't worry, it is very simple. You will understand in this video as well. So hit enter and let's download these 5 dependencies real quick. So okay, so we have an error over here. React Redux.js toolkit is not in this registry. Okay, let me look at it. Okay, so you need to install it separately. So I will write over here npm I Redux and js slash toolkit. Okay, so toolkit, and in this way it will be installed. So as you can see, our all the dependencies, let's see the package.json. So you can see all the dependencies are installed. Redux.js toolkit, React Redux and Redux Saga. So after installing these dependencies, and yeah, one more, this React Router DOM. So let's create some pages over here with the help of React Router DOM, and we will just like make it very quick, because it is not a tutorial about router, it is a tutorial about Redux Saga. So first of all, in the src, come to this app.js, which is the main file which will open the first time, and let me just delete all these data over here. And here, first of all, I will import something. So I'll import not this, I will import routes. Okay, so this thing, routes comma route. So these two things, so only these two things we require over here. And now I will write over here routes. Okay, and and I will close this function as well, and routes just like that. Okay, after this, inside this routes we have to write some path, which we can write inside this route. So as you can see, Copilot is also recommending me, so let's just hit enter. And here you can see we don't have this home file yet, but we will just say it, write it, because we will make it. So two more files. The first one will be about, or we can say we are like making a small e-commerce website. So what I will write product and then order. So these two pages we will write over here, and then I will write over here slash, in slash I will write the URL or the page link. So this product and order, and this home page is the default slash. After this, we have to go to this index.js. So in order to this router to work, we have to wrap our app in a wrapper. So what that wrapper is, it's called router. Okay, so we have used routes and route. Now we will use called router. Okay, so as you can see, this thing over here, and we can simply, okay, we can simply write over here, let's say router. So router, and here I will just wrap it over the app directory or app page. So in this way our router should work. Let's just save it, and let's just make few components over here. A file called, let's say, home.js. Here I will make a component, and here I will write home simply, and I will copy this and make two more files. Let's say product.js and one more order.js, and I will paste these two commands over here, and I will write product, and in order I will write order. And don't forget to change the file name as well, the function name as well, and similarly this thing and this thing, and we have to also require this in our app, so don't forget to do that as well. So I will write, and instead of this, so I need to import. So as you can see, home, then product, and then order. So simply like that we have created a simple router, and let's just start our React app to see if it is working or not. So I will write npm start. Alright, you can see we are in our home page. So let me zoom a little bit, and now I will just go to our order page and see if the URL is working. I will hit order. So yeah, as you can see, we are in order page, and let's go to the product page. Okay, so yeah, so our React router is working. So this is how simple React router is. So let's just close this tab over here. Okay, so after making the React router, let me just format document this. Yeah, now let's start with our main topic of this video, Redux Saga. So to use Redux Saga, we have to make a separate folder. So outside this React src, or you can make inside this src as well, but I will prefer to make a separate folder outside this called Redux. You can name it anything you want. In Redux we will make like 4 or 5 files, and don't be worried, those files will be very short. All the codes, like few of the codes, will be a boilerplate, so you can just copy paste in all of your projects whenever you are using Redux. So let's start with the first file. The first file is called, let me just add a file over there. The first file is called store.js. So this is the main file which we will be using to wrap our whole application, to wrap our whole project. So if you just take a look over here in the index.js, as you can see, I am wrapping this router, which is a React router DOM. Similarly, we will wrap this app inside this store.js. So we will take a look at that later on. First we need to write some code over here. Okay, so the first thing, we have to import something. So here we go. Okay, so first I will write import, and what I will write over here, I will write create Saga middleware. Okay, so create Saga middleware from React Redux Saga here, and then what I will write, I will also import create configure store from Redux JS toolkit. So these two commands we will use, and we also need some more imports, but we will take a look at that later. So now I will write a constant. So as you can see, so this one Saga middleware is equal to create Saga middleware. So in this way we have require our middleware. Now we also need a constant called store. Okay, so this store will be equal to configure store, and then it will take two arguments. The first one will be a reducer. We haven't make any reducer yet, so for now I will just simply call it null, but make sure this should not be null, there should be a file. So let's just see. Okay, so then the next argument is a middleware, and here you can also see this copilot is recommending me. So let's just write this. Here you can see it is a callback function, which is an arrow function. You can give this an argument anything you want, but yeah, this main thing is over here, concat Saga middleware. So this is the main thing that you want to write in our store. After that, you can simply export this store over here. That's it. That's all the thing we want to write in our store.js. Yeah, one more thing. Like we have to replace this null with our actual reducer, and we have to also run our Saga file. So we will also do that later. Now after writing this store.js, what we need to write is our action file. So let's make another file inside this React folder called action.js. Inside this there will be all the functions that you will call with the from the components. So there will be multiple functions over here. So I will write over here export const, and let's just write as you can see it is also recommending me. So let's just write this function over here, add to cart, and I will write let's just add this one. So yeah, in this way I will make an arrow function over here. So this is the name of the function of my function add to cart. Okay, and what I will write over here, inside this brackets we will make we will add some parameters. I will write over here email, not email, product ID. So you can write anything you want. So this is the argument that you will be passing from a component. It is optional, you can leave it empty over here if you don't have anything to pass. After that you must return something. So you can return two things. The first thing is type, and the second is payload. You can see. So the first thing is type. So this type is important because this is the name of the function. So inside here don't write this exact same name. Well, you can, but I would recommend you to not write the same function. I will write it over here add to cart action, because it is a action. And payload, I will just simply pass this argument to over here. And one more thing, one more time, if you don't have any argument over here, you can just simply comment it out. You don't need to pass this payload over here, but for now I will just keep it over here, and our one function is done. So this is the whole action code you want. If you have multiple functions, you can simply create multiple functions over here with the different different arguments and different functionalities. For now we will just keep it to one. After action, now this is how React Redux Saga works. So let me just comment it over there and explain you. Zoom a little bit. Okay, so yeah, so whenever you are writing Redux, it will go to action.js. Okay, so first of all Redux Saga. So this will, the first thing will be action.js. Okay, action.js, Then this will go to then this will go to saga.js, which we haven't created it yet. Then after that, it will go to reducer. Okay, and after that it will go to store.js. So this is the path flow of Redux Saga: action, Saga, reducer, and store. So this is how Redux Saga works and actually flows. So after creating our action, let's just quickly create our next file, which is Saga, because after action, the data, the function will call in Saga. So saga.js. Here I need to import something. I will import call, put. These are optionals. Okay, so take every from Redux Saga effects, and you can also write take latest. We will see exactly what those means. Now what I will write, I will make a function, this thing with this, right over here. So yeah, so make sure to add a star over here. This means that it is an yield function. Okay, so you have to write yield. So I think I am pronouncing it right. And here you can either write take every or take latest. I will write take every. Let's just write it over here. I will explain you each and everything, so don't worry. Okay, after writing this over here, so this should be the exact function that you've written over here. I will just simply copy this and paste it over here. Now this is the Saga function which you have to declare. Okay, and make this function called my Saga, and export this function over here, default, export default my Saga. Now we have to change this function over here. So this is a callback function. I will write over here add to cart Saga func. You can name it anything, but I am just naming it so that you are not confused. Now we have to write this function over here, and this will be also a function with a star symbol. So let's write it over here, and here we have to use this put command. So I will write something like this, and this is the function which we are going to pass to the reducer. So again I will name it so that it is not confusing to you. I will name it add to cart reducer. Okay, so now let me explain you what is happening over here, because I have written so much code and you might be confused right now. So the first thing, we have to call action from the component. We will call this function add to cart from any component. Let's say product.js. Okay, so we will call this from product.js or home.js maybe. After calling it, it will call this action, this function over here, add to cart action, and it will also pass a payload which is a product ID. So this add to cart action is present in our saga.js, which is this one. Here we are defining that it will call this function over here. It will run this function, not call, and which is it will pass that same payload which we are getting from action.js, same payload to the reducer, which is another function called add to cart reducer. Now we will get this reducer in our reducer.js, which we haven't created yet. And what this star means, it is a generator function. So what generator function means, it must have this yield keyword inside this, which is an asynchronous, because this generator function is asynchronous function, which means that whenever you are defining any generator function, it will try to run only one yield at a time. So if you have multiple yields, you can see this generator function will first run this one, then after calling once again it will run this, and then finally this. So this is how generator function works. Now what this take every means, so you have two methods for this Saga. The first is take every, which will just take everything in our Saga function. So for example, you have multiple action functions and you want to like take every function at one time, you can write take every. But if you want to like take one at a time and one like you take the latest one, you can write take latest. But for now I will just simply, because we only have this one function, we can rather write take latest or take every, it doesn't matter. So I'll just write over here take every, and I hope you are clear by now what this function is doing. um, so yeah, so in this argument we don't need this action over here. So yeah, so after this saga.js, let me just copy this reducer function. We need to make a reducer file. So I will write over here reducers. So make it reducers or reducer, it's upon you. So reducer.js. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do in reducers.js is to define our state, which will be going to like pass from component to component, which will store our main data. So I will write over here called state, and this will be equal to, this is an object, so this will be equal to, let's say, a product ID. Okay, so this is a product that a user is currently has added to his cart, so we will only apply one product at a time. So I will write 0. So for example, it should like, it can be anything. For now let's just leave it empty over here. Then we need to export a reducer. So let's write it const reducer, and I will actually name it reducer1. So because you might have multiple reducers, so it will be an arrow function, and it will take two arguments, as you can see, a state and an action. So now we will write switch case statements to like define what action will occur to what state. Here, as you can see, it is also recommending me. So let's just write this, and here if you will take a look, let me just minimize this terminal. So here you can see for case add to cart action, not action, I will write over here add to cart reducer. So this function name should be the same as this one. So make sure after that you must have a default case as well. So let me just format document. All right, and here in the case add to cart reducer, what I'm writing, I'm just appending the state and then adding the product ID action.payload. So in this way, what will happen? A user will add a product ID from this function. It will go to Saga, then finally it will go to Redux, and then this product ID will be replaced by that actual product ID entered by user. Okay, so now we will make another file called root reducer. So root reducer.js, and here I will import few more things. The first thing is combine reducers, which we will use to combine all the reducer. For our case, we only have one reducer, but yeah, in your case, you might have few more reducers, and I will also require the reducer that we want to combine. So reducer1. So reducer1 from reducer1, this thing, and if you will take a look at over here, reducer.js. okay, so reducers.js. So reducers.js, or you can just simply leave it like that, reducers. Here in this way we are requiring this reducer1 into our root reducer. Now only thing is to combine them. So export reducer, root reducer, then combine, and here I will write reducer1 and then close the brackets. If you have multiple multiple reducers, you can have this kind of thing where you can write reducer1, reducer2, but we only have one, so we will leave it like that. So we have created our Redux folder, and we have created the store.js, action, saga, everything. Now let's wrap our whole project and whole application in this store. So yeah, so come to index.js. Here I will first import two things. The first thing is a provider. Okay, so provider from React Redux, and the second thing is a store. So you can see store from redux/store. So this is the exact URL to our folder over here. So make sure to give the exact path, and after that what I will write, I will simply write the provider, and then store is equal to store, and then we have to close this provider as well. So I will write over here, let's say provider, this thing. So in this way we have wrapped our whole application within this provider, and all the data can now flow from one component to another. So now let's test it, and now we will go to our home page. So home page, as you can see in our Chrome, okay, so we have an error, so it cannot resolve. So yeah, the path was incorrect. So let me just look at it. Where was it? So this is the path. So yeah, so let me just write over here this thing, and then now this, and then this. So now it will be, should be fine. Okay, so you attempted to import which falls outside of the project okay. Okay, so I think we need to import this to move this inside our SRC. So let's just do that, move it, and now let's test it one more time. So now it is saying can't resolve. Okay, slash redux slash store. Why? So now it is saying reducer is a required argument and must be a function or an object of functions. Okay, so you can see it is giving me this error that reducer is a required argument. That's because if you remember, we have given this reducer null. So let us change that, because we have made our reducer folder now. So first of all, I will import this function which is combined reducers. So combined reducer from not this toolkit but from root reducer, and I will simply pass this to this thing. In this way our reducer is done. We will also import one more thing, which is my saga from this, and I will do, I will run it. So to run it, we can simply write saga middleware dot run and pass this function over here. So in this way it should run. So let's see. Okay, so it is saying combined reducer was not found. Okay, so let's just see over here, root reducer. Okay, so instead of making a constant over here, what I will write, I will just export default just like that, and it should work right now. Combined reducers, let me just check the spelling over here as well in the store. Okay, so it is correct. So what is now not found in root reducer, combined reducers. Let me just check this spelling one more time. Combined reducers, it is correct. Oh, okay, I think we have to, yeah, so we have to get rid of that. So now it is giving one more error. Okay, so as you can see, we are getting one more error, which is a slice reducer for key reducer 1 return undefined. So for that, if you will take a look at our reducer, that we haven't used this state over yet. So first of all, I will just rename it to initial state, and then we have to pass this in our state variable over here. So in this way it will resolve all the errors. So yeah, as you can see, we are not getting any more errors. Now we are good to go, and now we are ready to test it. So I will come over here. So I will quickly come over here to our home.js, and inside this I will import a dispatch function. So I will write over here, let's say use dispatch from React Redux. So this dispatch function is used to call the functions which are inside this action.js. First of all, I will write over here const dispatch is equal to use dispatch, and then what I will write, I will make a simple button in the HTML. So let's say click me, and on clicking, so let's say on clicking, I will make a callback function, and here I will write dispatch function, and instead of this argument, what I will write, I will simply name this function over here, which is this add to cart. So I will write over here this thing, and I will, so this thing, and then a product ID of 123. So in this way we are calling this add to cart function and then passing this product ID of 123 in this one product ID. Now what will happen, and I will also make a link over here to go to our product.js file. So for that we need to import nav link, from router React router DOM. Now I will write over here nav link and then to product. So yeah, in this way we are getting to product. Okay, so there is some add to cart. So yeah, we also need to import this function as well. So I will write over here add to cart from Redux action. So now let's just do format document. So in this way 123 has stored in our state variable. Now we can retrieve that value, retrieve this 123 from any component. So let's just take a look let's just see in our product.js. To retrieve it, we have one more import statement, which is use selector. So this is also from React Redux. Here what I will write state is equal to use selector state dot state. You might be confused that what is it, but let's just write over here and this thing state dot and whatever you have. Let me just show you in the reducer. So you have this state which is called initial state and is an object, and it have a value of product ID. So I will simply copy this product ID and state dot product ID. We have to also write the reducer name as well in this. So state dot reducer 1 dot product ID. So now I think it will work. So yeah, as you can see, now let's test it one more time. We are in the home page. I will not click on this button. Let's click on this product page. So yeah, as you can see, there is nothing on it. Let's go back to our home page. Click on this button. Now let's go to product page. As you can see, now it is there. And you can also do the same thing for order page over here. And yeah, I think this is the most simplest tutorial on how you can use the Redux, how you can use the Redux Saga in your application. And it is very simple if you want to get the data from one component to another, and it is also useful in authentication as well. For example, a user has logged in, you can save his data in a state so that you don't have to verify so you don't have to verify him every time he goes to a different page. You can just check it in the state whether he is authenticated or not. So that is one of the example and one of the use cases for Redux and Redux Saga. So yeah guys, I think that's it from this video. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you learn how to use Redux Saga. And tell me what do you think of this video in the comments down below, and if you have any new idea, let me know that as well in the comments down below. So yeah, like this video, subscribe to my channel, that will help me a lot. So that's it from this video guys. I will see you in the next one.